Hello everyone. Today we'll be seeing how to use the module Employee Manager. That is the basic module which needs to be configured if we want to use the HRMS part of the ERP. So let's start. So again, like all other modules, it has been divided to three parts: manage, feature, and report. So the first menu that we have is to configure employee type. So what is employee type? Employee type is when we want to categorize the employee designations. Suppose we can create an employee type management that will include the directors, the chairpersons. So we can categorize different designations through this employee type. Having said that, we need to know why do we need to actually configure employee type. So we do this configuration to enable the ERP understand what are the modules that this particular employee type will be using. So while creating any employee type, we assign a set of modules to that employee type so that any designation under that employee type or any employee under that designation will be accessing which modules. We need to understand that. So let's start and see how do we actually add any employee type. So by clicking that button, we enter into this form where we can actually add an employee type. So first we start by typing out a name, maybe management, write down a description. So after that, here are all the modules that the super admin has access, because I have logged in through a super admin account. So these are all the modules that the super admin has access to. So now I can select the modules that I want to give access to this employee type. As I select this button, this is a master checkbox for all the menus under that particular module. And by default, as we select this checkbox, all the actions that can be done on any particular menu, like we can add something, we can edit any existing data, we can delete any existing data, or we can view. So we can actually change these action points as well. We can uncheck any particular menu, so this employee type will not be able to access this particular menu. And in case we only want to work on the action point level, maybe we do not want the employee type to add or edit or delete any data in this particular menu, then we'll just unselect these checkboxes. So in that case, they will only be able to view any data that has already been entered into the ERP. So similarly, we can provide access to other modules as well, or if we want, we just leave them unchecked. So at the end of all the modules, we have the submit button, on clicking which we will be saving this employee type. So here the employee type is there. So the next menu is employee designation. From the name only we can understand what it is for. We'll see how to add any designation. So suppose under the employee type we have created, we'll add one designation to see how it works. So we'll select employee type as management, staff type non-touching, priority 1. This priority is used to sort the designations. The designation with priority 1 is higher than the designation with priority 2. You can see when we were configuring the employee type, we had all the modules listed here. But since we selected only a few modules in that management, and as we have selected management as our employee type, So we can see only those modules are showing up here. So what we can do is we can either select all the modules to give access to this designation, or we can even restrict this particular designation from accessing a particular module that has been given access to this employee type that we have selected. But for this particular designation, we can even restrict accessing any particular module among these. So we can do that, and we can also similarly work on the action point level as well. And after doing that, we'll just have to click on this submit button. So we'll see we added CU under management non-teaching. This has been added. So we have completed the manage portion. Let's move on to the feature portion. So the first menu is add or edit employee. So for this particular organization, here all the employees are listed. We can add any employees data by clicking on this button. So the form you were seeing is a dynamic form. Any particular field can be added or removed from this form as per the requirement of the school or institution. ERP is capable to keep record of all the details of employee, like personal details, communication details, educational details, past experience details, past project details, payroll related details, official record, etc. So as we fill up the data and click on this save and continue button, we'll move on to the next section of this form, and similarly we'll have to continue entering the data and keep on moving to the last section and then click on the save button to complete the registration of the employee. And in case we want to edit any employees data, then from this list we'll just click on this edit button, and here we will see all the already entered data. Here we can actually toggle between the tabs to edit any data for that particular employee. We can edit and then click on this save and continue button. So we have seen this menu. Next is the reset login ID and password menu. So here also we find all the employees names are listed. Along with that we have user ID and password also. So here we can add user ID and password for any particular employee. We cannot really edit them, but we definitely can reset them. We cannot edit because some employee must be using those user IDs and passwords, so we cannot edit them. On request from any particular employee, we can reset his or her user ID and password by clicking on this reset button here at the right bottom corner. Or if we want, we can add user ID for any particular employee. And just click on the submit button. So we can see the user ID and password has been successfully updated. After resetting or after adding any user ID and password, if we want to notify the employee by sending SMS or email, then we'll just have to select this checkbox and then click on that submit button or reset button. We can also, like, if we want to reset all the employees user ID and passwords, then we'll just click this master checkbox and then just click on this submit or reset button. So the next menu is assign a reporting hierarchy. In this module we define the employee hierarchy, so we'll see how to do it. Suppose for this employee, there's many options are available. So as written here, on this page, only employees with designation higher than the selected employee are listed. By that it means when we were creating a designation, we were giving a priority. So that priority signifies that at which level that designation is. So any designation with a priority number 1 will be the top as said earlier. We can clearly see for the selected employee, these many employees are with a designation above the selected employee's designation. So we can select any employee from this checklist and we can also select label. So after selecting, we will define the label. So these three employees are on the higher hierarchy of the selected employee, and here also it has option to write down the maximum number of leaves that can be approved by these employees. So maybe if either we select NA if it is not applicable, or we can write down here the number, maybe 5. And as we are done, we have to click submit on it. So we configured for this employee, and we can see that. So the next menu is assign subject by faculty. So what we do is we have our subject list to be taught in a particular school. So we will be assigning those subjects to employees. And for that we have all our classes and sections listed. So I'll show you just configuring one. So here we have these many subjects for the class 6, and now we will be assigning to faculties. So English subject, let us first select the designation faculty, and then we'll select one employee. Then for Hindi similarly we can select faculty and then select another employee. We can also add more, because for Hindi maybe we have two options, and in case of anyone being as absent we can send another one. We can do that in the timetable module. So we can have multiple options of teachers for a particular subject. So we have done that, and then we have to click on the submit button to save the assignment. So we did the configuration for class 6, and here is what our assignment was. So for English we did assign this employee. For Hindi we did assign 2 employees, and here is the details. We just assign subject by faculty. So our next one is assign employee workload. This is a pretty simple menu. We'll have to first select the school that we are doing the configuration for, and then session. So for the selected school, this many employees are there. So we'll just have to enter how many weekly lectures will be given by this employee, how many weekly tutorial will be given by this employee, and how many practical classes will be taken by this employee. Everything is weekly calculated here. These things are used for the timetable generation. So maybe 4 lecture, 4 tutorial, and 4 practical classes will be taken by this employee weekly. So after entering the numbers, we'll just have to click on the submit button. So it has been updated successfully. We'll just check to verify. So you can see these are already updated. Similarly, we can do the same thing for other employees. The next module is employee serial number. This is a optional menu. It is not required by every school or institution. I'll show you. Is required in case the school is willing to have this list of employees in a particular order. Mostly the list comes as the employee has been added. In case we want to have any particular employee at the top of the list, then we have to just put their serial numbers here, and then the employee list will be coming that way. So it is optional, not required by every institute, so I'll skip that. Next is upload employee photo. This is again a very useful menu, and this is required for uploading the employees photographs, and we just have to choose click on the choose file button, and from here we'll just have to browse and click on a particular image, and then here we'll just have to click on this submit but update button. So our next menu is view or update self profile. Any details that might be missing while employee registration, so that particular employee can update his or her profile from this particular menu. So here is the edit button. As we click that button, we can see that the form that appeared while registration of the employee came, and we can just um, enter any data that needs to be changed or needs to be updated, and we just click on the save and continue button. Here it requires all the mandatory fields to be updated, and then click on the save and continue button. So it's updated. So all the feature modules are now covered, and then we'll just move on to the reports. I'll show you a few reports. Those are basically the representation of data that are entered into the ERP. So the first report is employee details record. So here comes all the employees that are listed. You can search by any particular school. In that case, only the employees of that school and institution will come here, and the detail. We can say assign subject record. So here comes class wise details, the class teacher name and the subject wise teacher's name. If multiple teachers are assigned, also those details come here. Designation or category head. So here we can see, and designation wise how many employees are there. So in this particular school we can see that there these designations are there, and these many employees are there for these designations. So we have one principal, 7 faculties, one accountant, and like that only. The salary head count. So here graphs are there. We have, this is bar graph, and we have one pie chart. 0 to 1 lakh, only one employee is there. 1 to 2 lakh, again one employee is there. More than 5 lakh, 11 employees are there. So here we also have that count, and these are the graphs to represent that. So yeah, that's it for this module. I hope it's clear now, and it's clear how important is this module. Thank you for watching.